Okay, hello, good day everybody. My name is Victor. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the curriculum description for the CCNA Level 3, which is the Enterprise Networking, Security, and Automation. So we call it ENSA. So, and this is the latest version, version 7, ASAT 2022. So SOUTECH is a Cisco Network Academy partner, and we offer CCNA 1, CCNA 2, CCNA 3, that's Introduction to Networking, Routing, Switching, and Wireless Essentials. Then, of course, CCNA 3, which is Enterprise Networking, Security, and Automation, of course, up to CCNP. Now, if you have done CCNA 1 and 2, then this course is for you. At the end of this program, you're going to be getting the Networking Academy badge that shows that you understand what dynamic routing means. You can explain and you have skills in NAT, that is network address translation. You understand some network automation basics. You understand how to implement quality of service, security threat mitigation, software-driven network. At times we call it software-defined networking, and of course you could implement virtualization. So this is the kind of badge you get, which is verifiable, and you can share it to your LinkedIn profile. Now, who should attend this course? Of course, a professional or anybody that have basic CCNA level 1 and 2 skill set. The skills that you're going to acquire from this training is going to be skills on router and switches, OSPF, that is Open Shortest Path First, for point-to-point or multi-access networks. You're going to learn how to mitigate threats, how to ensure you have security, and also going to help you develop some thinking and problem-solving skill set to work with either real Cisco Catalyst enterprise switches or even your simulation environment, which is Packet Tracer. You're also going to be able to understand what virtualization is, the different models and the concept, cloud computing. And if you have interest in doing other Amazon Web Services certification, or if you have interest in Google Cloud Platform or Microsoft Azure, then this training is for you. They also understand how APIs and configuration management tools can also help you do network automation. So the one that's gone past you just running commands to control your network. Now we start talking about SIEM, security information and event management tools. We'll talk about SOA tools. We'll talk about enterprise tools that like SolarWinds, Sophos, and the rest that we are actually used to manage our entire network, right? Either remotely or at the edge of our networks. Okay, for the curriculum, that's why it's called enterprise networking. So you're not looking at networking just within a location. Remote networking, remote computing. How does this translate and how do you ensure quality of service, right? You're going to learn how to create design, create your topology, your architecture, secure it, and also be able to troubleshoot when you have issues. Then, if you want to take this course, our recommended preparation is that you should have taken the CCNA 2, which is routing, switching, and wireless essentials, or you have great hands-on when it comes to networking. So the skill sets that you're going to learn if you take this course is that you're able to work with routers and switches to implement open shortest path first. So this concept has to do with having a backup router and a designated router, so that if we have a connection similar to the concept of a mesh network and you have a router down, how do we do an election and have the other router taking over to control our network? Then we'll see how to mitigate threats, how to ensure and enhance network security through access control list. So you see, this course is a step further from the CCNA 2, which is routing wireless essentials. So here at Routing Wireless Essentials, we've looked at how to create VLANs, right? Now, in this course, we want to see how can we translate all of the VLANs that we've created and make it possible that we use them to implement security controls. We know in an IT infrastructure, there are different types of controls we need to have. We could have administrative controls, we could have logical controls, we could have, what's the last one again? So access control is a type of logical control, right? And of course, physical control, that's the last one. So you have administrative control, logical or technical control, then physical control. So access control list is a type of logical or technical control, because the first thing top management, C-level executives are going to do is to have an information security policy document, right? A policy that has been commissioned by top level executives. It's now our duties as part of the tactical team to translate what that policy says using technology. If the policy says everybody on VLAN or on the intranet cannot access so and so resources, it's now our responsibility to segment the network, implement VLANs on this different segment, and implement access control lists, right? We're going to see the different types of access control. Then another skills that you're going to learn within this training, either you're running this training physically or remotely, is that you're able to work with real equipment and also use the simulation tool, which is Cisco Packet Tracer. In this course, you understand virtualization. So cloud computing is evolving. If you intend to move in that direction, this course is for you, because it will give you some ground skill set, especially if you want to go into the networking aspects of cloud computing. And of course, we're going to be exploring SDN, software-defined networking, and how APIs, application programmable interface, and configuration management tools can help us enable network automation. Network these days cannot be managed by just commands, right? Hard commands when we are connected to our switch or remotely. We have to be able to use analytic tools, right? Remotely, enterprise tools to manage our entire network. See them in the dashboard, see the graphs, see threads, put some rule-based controls, put some role-based controls, and be able to automate our network. So that is now the in thing currently. Now for the modules, we're going to be looking at 14 modules in this enterprise networking security automation course. So the first one is going to be single area OSPF version 2. What's the concept? What's the concept of open shortest path first? Then how do we configure it? Then we're also going to be looking at network security concepts. Because you could have an engineer set up a network. That is just one part of the game. Question is, how do we ensure that our network is secured? We look at ACLs, access control list. We're also going to look at access control list for IP version 4 configuration. We're also going to look at NAT, right? Network address translation. That's one of the protocols and concepts that help us still use IP version 4 today. Adaptation of IP version 6 is evolving, but it's not so. Just like 5G, it's not that across all the regions of the world. So we're going to understand the concept of NAT and how NAT works. Then one concept. So that's where wide area network comes in. Then we look at VPN, virtual private network. How do we do? VPN is like a tunneling technology, connection between points, software-based VPN tools, point-to-point implementation for VPN. You have Office A in region A, Office B in region B. How do we connect both Office IT infrastructure, connect and implement IPsec? Because that's one way that we could connect both offices and in a secured manner. Then in module 9, we're going to be looking at quality of service, QoS. Because it's one thing to to set up a system and IT infrastructure, a network, and it's another thing to ensure that you have quality delivered. If every time we're going to be having downtimes, so here we're going to be looking at concepts like availability. What does it mean to have a 99.9% availability? What does it mean to have 99.999%? These things all differ. When you sign contracts with ISPs, network providers, you should be able to understand some of this concept, because here we're talking about enterprise networking. It's not just networking within a closed building. We're talking about how do we connect to other office. This is not just about SOHO, small office and home network. We're talking about large scale enterprise. So quality of service is very, very key. It's not something where you pay for 10 MB per second up and down, and maybe for 24, 48 hours, you don't have that service provided. For a small business, for a home, for a small office, that might suffice, that can work. But for a large-scale enterprise, quality of service is very key. Then in Module 10, we're going to be looking at network management. How do we manage our network? How do we design? How do we troubleshoot? How do we virtualize? And how do we automate? So we automate using software-defined networking. So the course is very rich. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, share with your friends. Those interested in cybersecurity, those interested in core networking, those interested in cloud computing, this course is for you. If you have foundations in networking, if you have some good foundation in networking, or you've taken either the CCNA 1 or CCNA 2 course with SOUTECH, if you don't have access to the Learning Academy by Cisco, inbox, fill the form, get your token, and get set to learn. You could learn in any of our training centers, or you could learn remotely. The course will come with some projects, with some research. You have an exam, you have your certification. Thank you very much for listening. This is an intro. This is the content of the course itself. I'll see you in class.